Hi everyone, it's Ardith, and I'm here today with the new Curls and Swirls background stamp from Jillian Vance Design. I was experimenting with it last weekend, and I made two cards that are identical, except for one element, and wait until you see just how different the look is. I started by putting a panel of white cardstock into my MISTI. I had already removed the mouse pad since this stamp is red rubber. Since I was planning to overstamp the background once the coloring was done, I placed the panel very carefully and adhered it with removable adhesive so that I would be able to easily line it up again at the right time. I inked the stamp up with Copic-friendly ink, but I didn't really worry about the quality of the impression because I knew I would be coming back and stamping again later. I removed the panel from the MISTI and put it onto some folded grid paper. It's important to have something absorbent behind your cardstock when you color with Copic markers. Although this pattern looks very complex, I'm going to show you how simply you can color it and still get a really neat look. Now, this swirly pattern has a secret. Watch closely and you'll see it appear. That's right, it's a heart. In fact, there's two hearts. You can completely ignore the secret hearts in the pattern and just use the background as a background. I used my lightest color to outline and then color in these two hearts. Just a quick scribble all over to get a base coat down. Next, I went in with the next lightest color and just followed as many of the swirly outlines as I could as quickly as I could. Then I went in with my darkest shade to add some real depth to the colors. Finally, I went over the outside area of the heart again with my lightest marker to get a blend going, but I left the center to give the idea that it was lighter there. I felt like the reds were pretty simple and monochromatic, so I decided to add some dark yellow for warmth and some pink for coolness. This just added more to the range of reds, and I think it made it feel a little more sophisticated. Next, I followed the same process with the background, with some cool blue-greens. I started with the light marker, added some depth with two darker shades in the same color family, and then I added some yellow-green for warmth and a purpley blue for coolness. Now this was the second time I had made this card. Same exact markers, same exact process, but the next step was where I decided to change it up. The first time I overstamped, I used crisp black ink and I embossed it with clear embossing powder for a stained glass look. I'll show you that in a second. It felt pretty dark and intense, so I decided that this time I would try embossing with clear ink and white powder. I coated the panel with anti-static powder and then I inked up the stamp twice with embossing ink before pouring the white powder all over and heating it with my heat gun until it was all melted and smooth. Here are the two panels together, and you can see the huge difference I made by making one little change to my process. To finish the cards, I followed the same process for each. I added the same Grande greetings love sentiment, and I used the same layout to back them onto card bases, but I used opposite colors. I'm having a hard time deciding which one's my favorite. How about you? I hope you enjoyed this video. I love to see how versatile our supplies can be by trying different things with them. Shopping links are below and on Jillian's blog. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.